And again, Tim, you're right on changing attitudes, but it's that combination of enforcement as well as cultural and community change. We have to have effective AVOs. We have to have shared practice and evidence among the jurisdictions. We need to share information so that people don't go from one jurisdiction to the next and escape, you know, or have impunity. We need to ensure that women feel free to speak up, that policemen and women will believe her, that bystanders will understand that there is a role for intervention as well as believing but changing attitudes. We need to ensure that the courts and the judiciary understand that this is a national emergency and that we need to enforce legislation and policy as it exists, or indeed change it. And this goes to the question, change it where it is failing. And we've seen changes in recent times to family law, both negative changes in 2006, I remember it well, in a former life, and 2012 we've seen changes to family law that now are starting to rebalance that sense of putting more weight on protecting and not harming children and mothers in most instances, but women, even if it's at the expense of the so-called meaningful relationship with both parents. So there are legal, judicial, enforcement, a range of changes, but
let me actually hear from Tim Cartwright. Is it actually frustrating for the police, the way the courts deal with matters like this?
There's a whole lot of frustration
and
for
governments,
police,
for that matter.
just as there are for the victims in this. But one of the things is the nature of the federation is that the court orders don't transfer automatically. So if someone's a victim of a family violence incident today in New South Wales and they cross across the border tomorrow into Victoria, the people on the ground, the men and women who are there to protect the victim, can't get access to that information easily. The systems that are in place to register that order require the woman to go into court to actually manually enter it. It is an archaic system, so that is a great frustration for us. We don't have access to mental health information, we don't have access to alcohol information, we don't have all sorts of information which might help us on the ground protect the woman, or at least understand the situation and understand the risk that we're seeing.
Okay,